COVID. Okay, can't do that anymore. But
yeah, dude, that's illegal. 37 continents. States.
Dude, do you know how much has changed? Like now we can look stuff up while we have this second monitor.
Yeah, that's the reason we
look at
that's
audio.
the reason we were updating everything. Actually, we're in like an official recording studio, and we have like staff now.
Yeah, I'm a black man with 3 children. Do you want to guess their names? That's racist. That's racist.
It's because the clip
Mike,
that we just watched.
Kathleen,
Kathleen,
and Sandra Bullock. Middle name Bullock. Welcome back to a show that has existed only in our minds.
And our hearts.
And sometimes our hearts. Now, this is a show that if you know it, say it out loud right now.
3, 2, 1. TheWordPool.
The WordPool, that's correct. And it's a bit weird because we haven't done this in a while. And I don't remember how to do this.
Honestly, I don't remember either. I think we just kind of talk.
But I think we were... Because, see, we got on such a good train after a while that we could just jump in. But this one's, like, starting fresh, you know? It's starting right from the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. You know, before we were at the bottom depths of the ocean. You know, and no crashing waves could even harm us. But now we're back at the top. And the top is that's where ships hit.
Yeah, dude.
So we got to be careful about what we say. And I think what we need to do is we need to jump right back from where we left off before we get into where time has been since the last episode.
So where did we even leave off?
Where we left off is a little question of which controller is the best. Now, I still hold firm and strong that until November, this Xbox controller was the best one. Now, we last recorded in August, I think, or something like that. And so, there's been a lot to recap on. So, who wants to recap their life first?
Jerry?
Jerry?
He said no.
Jerry.
He's actually actively leaving the room. You're not going to catch him.
Gary? Gary? Gary! Anyway. Yeah, do you want to answer the question first?
Where's my life been?
Yeah, because we're totally in different places now. Because you got to remember, in August or even July, you weren't even in the place that you are now. You know.
Yeah. So
let me set you up, okay? Let me set you up before you get into it. Let me set you up. I'm gonna tee you up, okay?
Okay.
Like a good golf assistant, I'm gonna tee you up.
Do they do that?
Well, a lot of the caddies will sometimes tee you up.
Huh. I always thought caddies just carried the golf.
Well, even that's
clubs.
A good amount of stuff to do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I thought they carried the golf clubs, and then sometimes they told the guy what to do, which I always thought was really arrogant. To be like, oh yeah, you're a pro golfer. Gopher.
You're pro gopher.
And
let me show you how to do stuff.
Then let me tell you which club to use, but I don't know.
Well,
probably just like a second opinion thing.
Well, those caddies are also pro gophers. Because usually those golfers will be people that are in the same league that are just, with their friends.
Huh.
Anyway, let me tee you up. Okay, so let's see. Back in the last episode, I think it was like 6 months ago, I had not become a senior. You were still a senior. And you had not yet... you hadn't yet moved on before I'm just teeing you up, so you got to explain. But you hadn't yet moved on, and you hadn't yet moved back, ? Setting up a sequel. And yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, yeah, take it away. Tee you up.
Okay, so as he both said and hinted at, last August, I went to college. And let me tell you, those 2 weeks...
Kansas University! Ding, 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 ding. We can say that now because they're public universities.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter because there's, a bunch of us. Ding, 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 ding.
But, yeah, so I went to KU, Kansas University of Lawrence and whatever. Okay. And to say the least, I was really disappointed because there was nothing to do because of a little disease. I don't know if you've heard of it. COVID-19.
COVID wasn't even crazy back then. You realize that, right?
I mean, no, it was crazy back then too.
No, but we were talking about it.
Worse.
Yeah, but we were talking about it in the sense that, stuff hadn't escalated to where it is now. We thought maybe it would die back down over, the summer or the longest spring break ever. But then it didn't.
Didn't even a little bit.
And so anyway, how did that affect your plans?
So yeah, I was there for 2 weeks. Count them, 14 days before I had to go back because literally every single class I signed up for was completely online. So all I was there for was to be in my dorm room because there weren't even like normal freshman events to go to. Like normally when you go to college, you have like that freshman orientation week where like all you do is just hang out with freshmen and make friends. Yeah, never got that. Never even had an opportunity to make friends. So
But you don't think the people themselves just decided to start meeting other people there?
I mean, the thing is that people could have come in way earlier than I did. Like I picked the spot that worked best for my schedule, which was like the 24th. But for a lot of people, they came in at the beginning of the month. So for some people, they just came in and had like a ton of free time to just do whatever. But when I came in, school was starting like the next day.
So why didn't you show up earlier?
Because I had a lot of scheduling issues and I couldn't. That was like the soonest I could come.
Because I think you would be there now if you had shown up 2 weeks earlier and like met people.
I guess that's really just a kind of a what if. Like, if I met people, sure, but, like, you know, if I didn't, then, like, it'd be the same, really.
I don't know.
Because, like I said, there were, like, no events that I could have attended. There was none of... And, it, like... I don't know. It just was kind of a problem.
Yeah, there was no events to go to, I guess. But also, there was no real reason for you to even try.
Yeah, there was none of that either. I mean, the other thing is, like, even if we had in-person classes, I could kind of make friends in that way too, but we didn't even have those. They were all online, so yeah, it's kind of hard to make friends over a Zoom call, so...
I mean, like, all the colleges have to deal with that sort of thing, and they have to, like, prepare themselves for what has happened, and, like, now everybody's taking their classes online.
Yeah. Big problem, let me tell you.
I mean, it's a big problem, but going into 2021, because now it's December, a lot of time has passed. It's like Arrow. We go to the present, and then we go back in time to talk about the past. But now that it's December, I mean, so much has changed, but I don't think colleges are going to do anything differently.
Oh, no. The numbers are still just as high. Like, they're
like
not
by the
gonna
time
go back up
fall,
like that.
by the time fall comes back around, like, we'll probably do this again. It'll probably be the same.
Yeah, we'll finally record again after 6 months, and
But I mean, I applied to KU, so can you imagine if we just take this podcast to Kansas?
that'd be cool.
But we could both get jobs in Kansas and then go halvesies on like apartment or something.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd be game for that. I'd be down. 100%.
That actually, it'd be weird though, sharing an apartment together.
Yeah, it would be a little weird, but you know, cost effective. So.
But like, if we shared an apartment, what would that look? Let's paint a picture.
I mean, people have roommates all the time. It's
I know,
not that
but
weird.
I'm saying you and I sharing an apartment. Let's paint the picture, okay? So I'm thinking we're in Lawrence, and I'm thinking, you know, a place that's near the highway because it's cheap. And
well, we'd have to live close to campus.
Close-ish.
I mean, yeah, but like
It's like $1,200 a month.
I guess there's like maybe a highway a little close, but
Maybe it's like $1,100 a month.
yeah, something like that.
So we split it $550 each, and then $550 each. Now I assume we get about the space of a living room, 2 doors that enter bedrooms, and like one bathroom or something. Now, what are you going to be doing? Like let's say I go out for groceries at like 9 a.m., right? And I come back in. What am I walking back into? Am I walking into a house that's filthy, disgusting, dirty?
Oh no, I'm a clean person.
Am I walking into a place where there's like video game stuff everywhere?
Oh no, I like to keep all of that. My hobbies are very organized. Like I don't just like leave stuff lying around like that.
If I disappear at 9 and come back at 11, will you even be up at that point?
Oh yeah, I'll be up.
Cause like
So like, don't bring any girls past like 11, because I'll still be up and I'll know.
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
I feel like you would have a bigger problem with that than I would.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, I guess I would.
I guess. I mean, like I don't know. I don't know. Sharing is weird unless like.
Well, you are an only child. It's a foreign concept.
I guess it helps rent if I have to pay less to go somewhere else.
That's why people share. I mean, no one. I'm pretty sure no one would really share with like anybody if they could, but.
I mean, let me look. I'm gonna look up some apartments near in Lawrence, which is not Manhattan, which is where the other K-State place is.
Yeah.
Which I also applied to. Because
in case.
Because we can get like some apartments.
Yeah.
Some loft. Ooh, a loft. You know.
Could be fun.
Ever heard of a loft?
Nope.
Ooh, that looks cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
So just to close your eyes, 9 subscribers. We used to have 13, and we stopped recording, so they went down.
Yeah, just saying, really.
Clubhouse. So we could have a clubhouse. Oh, here we go. 2 bedroom, 2 bath. So yeah, this is what we're dealing with.
That'd be perfect, really.
This kind of thing. This kind of setup.
2 bed, 2 bath.
Dude, but if we got jobs, like think about it. If we got jobs now, I mean, I still would want to do my freshman stuff.
Yeah.
But
I don't even think I'd have the opportunity.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, you could still go out to all the hangout stuff, but
yeah.
I think the first year I'd still live in the dorms, but like by the second year,
you have to live in the dorm first year,
or maybe half a year, and then make this affordable and get a loft.
Yeah. Although looking at the price and thinking about how much I make, like I don't know, it'd be tight. It'd be tight money wise.
This one's 2 bedroom, 1,800.
I mean, yeah, it'd be big enough, but
I mean, it'd be cool. We could always get like one of these like house things. Ooh, look at this. Look at this thing. This is the Lynx. Ugh, it's kind of gross.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this is us scurrying. So this is us scurrying to the future to look at apartments. We have to go back in time because we have to juggle where we were, where we've been, where we're going, how it's going. So return to your story.
Where even was I? I was about 2 weeks into Kansas.
Yeah.
And then all my classes were online. You know this. I know this. And I decided that having $3,000 spent on room and board was just not worth it because I was not doing anything on campus. So I decided to go home because I had no friends there really, and I had no reason to stay, and it was just costing me a lot of money to stay. So long story short, went home after that and had school online for the rest of the semester.
But did you ever like make friends with like your roommate?
I mean, I feel like I knew him enough to like maybe hang out at some point, but like I don't know. At the end of the day, I was like, I feel like he would probably want to hang out with other people. Just because, like, I knew he had other friends on the floor. So, like, I don't know. I just felt like I was holding him back.
But, like, how is his relation to you?
Truth be told, he was actually gone most of the time. So, all I can really say is, like, when he came into the dorm room, we just talked like normal people. But, like, I don't know. Like, he'd just leave, like, from the hours of, like, lunch to, like, 11 o'clock at night.
I mean,
which is pretty standard, I think. So,
and then you would be doing classes like all day long, basically.
Well, yeah, because I really didn't have anything else to do. I mean,
did you put all your gen ed stuff at the top?
Honestly, most of my gen ed stuff is done. I mean, I did it before I even got there.
Well, what are you majoring in?
Biology.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Pretty standard major. Is that going to go into anything?
Maybe pre-med, maybe like something else. I'm not really sure yet.
Well, anyway, so you come back. Now, what's the world you're coming back into? Because it's very different than the one you left.
So, you mean like when I come back home?
Yeah, after those 2 weeks. Back to the BA state of Broken Arrow.
I mean, you say it was different, but to be honest, it was just the same as going to a manual. Like, I came back and like everything was like it was last spring.
Except one thing. The death of a great store in loving memory. Rest in peace, Regal Cinema. It's dead. Do you realize the last episode we recorded, we were talking about all the movies for 2020.
And
then they all got canceled.
That was depressing.
And we were so hyped. There were so many good movies coming out this year. And then nothing.
And now Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be best animated feature.
And Regal Cinema has closed. Now, if you don't know, the Warren Theater was a great place for families of rich kids. And I mean, it was expensive, which was their downfall, but it was also worth the money, you know?
I mean, yeah, like it was an experience. Like when you went to the Warren to actually watch a movie, like they had the curtain, they had the lights, they had the seating. Like it felt like an experience along with the movie, you know?
And it felt like a nice place. Like Cinemark often feels sketchy on the inside. Like, especially if you're there at, like, towards 11.
Yeah.
So, like, but the Warren, it always felt better protected because that's just the vibe and the branding that they had. They made it clean, they made it organized, they made it better for families. And they even had, like, the upstairs 21 and over bar where you could get, like, food and drink service.
So that's what that is?
That's what these stairs lead up to.
Honestly, I had no idea that was even a
bar.
Well,
the giant balcony, this area... upstairs is that 21 and over. They're watching the same movie, but they're just up above. So then they're watching down.
Like I knew that was a thing in some theaters. I just didn't know it was in that one.
Mm-hmm.
I just never even thought about what was upstairs. I always assumed it was like some sort of VIP area, which I guess isn't untrue, but
it's just sad because I really wish that there was a way to bring it back. Because I mean,
yeah,
and it had just gotten bought by the Regal Cinema. Or the Regal brand, and Regal took a big hit, and they lost like 30% of their stores, and Regal is one of the biggest brands in the world for cinema. But Cinemark did beat the test of time because Cinemark was able to win. Oh, that's Synergy, my bad. Synergy is a different place altogether, but Cinemark in Tulsa, it won out because it had that old money, like that old Broken Arrow money, because it's been there forever. Like it's been there for 30 years.
Yeah, it's been there a hot minute.
So I mean, that's all it needed, and they're also innovating in ways that are just kind of crazy. So if you go to Cinemark right now, go to your local listings. If you go to Cinemark right now, what you're going to experience is not very many people because of COVID. People are scared for their lives.
Yeah.
Number two, if you have $100, so maybe it's your birthday, you get $100. Maybe it's Christmas and you have some extra money to share with friends. For $100, you can rent out an entire theater. Now that's like upwards of 200 seats, right?
Yeah.
But you don't get 200 seats, you get 20. But it's still cool because you get a whole theater, and they're not complaining that they're losing money for that because you're also filling seats anyway. And you're paying the money for the room. So you can pay $100 and pick almost any movie you want. They have a big catalog of movies you can pick from, including Christmas movies, which they're doing now, which we're going to do for the Christmas party, by the way.
Oh, that's good to know.
I'm thinking we go to Rame and then we go to the movie theater. But, that's not for you guys. That's private. But,
don't tell nobody.
Don't tell the internet. The 9 listeners, including my grandma. Don't tell Grandma. Anyway, and Mr. Mueller. Welcome back, by the way, Mr. Miller. Really missed you.
You see him every day.
Yeah, but not the digital version that's listening to the podcast right now.
Okay, then.
Last one he listened to was the one with Drexel and Camden, the co-op one that we did.
That was a while ago.
Remember when they were going to do a podcast? They were going to do like a sports analogy podcast because we started one.
And then they never did.
And we stood the test of time. That's what's up. COVID high five. Your hands are clammy. That's so weird. Anyway,
That's how my hands are.
Let me get back to my story about the great old... Well, I keep one in my pocket so I can have clammy and not clammy. It's like perfect temperature regulation. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the story of Cinemark. All right. So $100 gets you any movie you want, and basically, and you can watch it. You get 2 hours in there, and that's the runtime for most stuff. But then the other cool one, which is so much better, which I kind of just want us to do, like while we're both in town, is you can pay $100 and you bring your own console, video game console, and they will hook it up for you, and you can bring up to 20 people and play video games for 2 hours, any game you want, because it's your system.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds awesome to me, but the real
close your eyes and imagine your favorite game, Persona 5, and imagine it on the big screen. I mean, with Persona 5 music on the big speakers.
That would be really good, because Persona 5 music is quite legendary.
For me, dude, I don't know. I feel like we could enjoy any game just as long as it's on the big screen. Like Kingdom Hearts 3.
Did you ever get around to actually buying it?
Persona 5? I don't think it's on sale anymore.
I mean, yeah, it's not, but...
No, I didn't.
That sucks. It was like half price.
I know, but I didn't have the money at the time. I had to save money. See, that was the sale screen. Now it's gone. See, but I don't know. Like this, like Red Dead was on sale and stuff. I don't know. I'm holding out to see if I want anything really special, like a VR headset or whatever. But I don't know. VR would be so fun, but I don't have the money.
No one has the money for VR these days.
I mean, but they make VR so cheap now. Like it's like $200 for an Oculus, but Oculus is owned by Facebook, and I don't really trust that because apparently you have to have a Facebook account to even log on to your headset, and I hate that idea that like everything's gonna run through one person's account or whatever.
It is a little strange,
but see, like I could get the HTC Vive sponsor, which is already connected to Steam pretty much, and like it works wonders. But anyway, Cinemark. Let's get back to Cinemark again. You can get Red Dead Online for $5. That's pretty good, right?
I have no idea.
Red Dead Online, it's like Red Dead, but it's online, you know?
I mean, if you say so.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you need Red Dead Redemption. I assume you do.
I mean, I would say you don't. Like,
I mean, it's kind of cool. It's like all the best parts of Red Dead, you know, just hanging out with people and stuff. Anyway, Cinemark. Yeah, you bring your own console. Now, I'm thinking Kingdom Hearts 3, Persona 5, maybe some Pokemon on the Switch. You know, there's a lot of things you can do. But that's kind of like, it's a game changer. That's why Cinemark was able to win, because they innovated and they had that old people money. So,
I mean, yeah, it's true.
And all their snacks are like half price or a third of the price or something.
Which is crazy, because, like, that's how they get all of their income, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, Cinemark's still losing money, but they aren't losing as much, and they can hold out, I would say, till, I mean, now that they're actually making money, and from what I've been hearing, like, a lot of people have been going to the stuff like the $100 rent thing.
I mean, because honestly, who wouldn't? Because that's a pretty good deal.
But I think that kind of stuff is actually making them money. But even if they weren't, the idea that they're making some money plus the money they have in reserve and donor sponsors, everything, I think they could hold out, you know, if nothing else, till next, I don't know, summer maybe. You know, just doing what they're doing now. I mean, they still need more people to show up, or it's going to be bad. But I mean, they're surviving, and it's so cool. I mean, Cinemark's awesome. I mean, I always wondered which one I liked better, Cinemark or Warren, but I guess there's only one choice now, so that's the victor, is Cinemark.
By default, the best way to win.
The only thing I don't like is these D-box seats, because they're not worth the money. Have you ever had the D-box seats?
Do they fold out?
Well, they fold out like regular luxury seats, but they also like shake during earthquake scenes, or like if there's a beast. That
sounds dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's supposed.
I mean, like I'm also the kind of person that turns off the vibration in their controller, so I don't know.
I don't know. It's not really worth the money, but I don't turn off the vibration because I enjoy that.
I don't know. It throws me off. I don't like it. I always turn it off if it's an option.
Anyway, we didn't get. That brings us back to the other point I mentioned earlier about the controllers. But we're not there yet in the timeline. We're still, where are we?
I think I just got back in town.
Which is what point in the timeline?
Like 2 weeks.
I know, but what month?
Like September.
All right, let's continue.
I mean, honestly, after September, it's been pretty average. Like, I got a job. Woohoo! It sucks. I don't like it. But, you know, it's fine.
But you stay there.
Well, yeah, I can't just quit.
I mean, you could just quit.
But there'd be no purpose. Like,
I mean, if you don't like it, that's a purpose.
Yeah, but you're not gonna. I'm not gonna like any job I have until like, it's like probably a high-end job, you know. Like the job I get to like basically pay for my hobbies is like
video games.
Well, yes, but
video games.
But like the job I have right now, and probably the jobs I'm gonna have until I graduate, I'm not gonna like them, and that's just how it is. Like
that's just the fact.
I mean, like, there's no way for me to be like. Because part of my personality is, like, I really want to be doing something useful. But, like, I know when I'm working there, I'm not doing something useful. Like,
so what have you bought from this money?
What have I bought? Well, I've bought
Yeah. All the money. Wasted.
I mean, I bought a game, which I've always wanted to play.
What game is that?
A Danganronpa 3.
Alright. Next.
And then I bought another game.
Is that on Steam?
No, Danganronpa 3, yeah. You can check it out.
How do you spell that?
Exactly how it spells.
Danganronpa.
Yep.
Why is this a thing?
What do you mean, why is it a thing?
Well, why is it something you've always wanted to play?
Because I played the first two.
Why'd you play the first two?
Because it's an amazing game. I can't believe you've heard of it, right?
No.
Seriously?
I don't know what Danganronpa is.
That's ridiculous. I can't believe you've never heard of it.
I don't play anime stuff.
Yeah, but even people who don't play anime stuff have heard of it.
I've probably heard of it, but I don't play anime stuff. Except Persona. I love Persona. It's my favorite.
Never played Persona. Shut your dirty mouth.
But I listen to the music. The music's good. You can't say
Some people.
You can't say that I'm not a fan of the music, because that wouldn't be true. That'd be a lie.
That's like liking a fifth of the game. Like, you're like, yeah, I'm a fan, even though I only like a fifth of this whole game.
I don't believe that, because I think the people that designed the music designed it to be enjoyed regardless. So,
that's true, but like...
So they're on my side.
But you're only enjoying one aspect of a ginormous game.
Yeah, but a whole game is comprised of all those parts.
But that's like listening to the Star Wars soundtrack and being like, I like Star Wars. Like, you don't know what it's about. You don't know anything about Star Wars if you just listen to the soundtrack.
I didn't say I like Persona 5 because I like the music. I said
you said you're a Persona fan because you like the music.
Well, I can be a Persona fan if I like the music.
You can't be a Star Wars fan if you just like Star Wars music. That's insane.
I don't believe that.
Dude, the Star Wars music tells you nothing. Okay, anyway.
Well, that's not true. That's not true.
The Star Wars music tells you nothing about the story.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
John Williams designed the score.
If you have nothing but the soundtrack, it tells you
that's not
no
true.
Context.
That's not true. When John Williams...
it can tell you the mood of the scene, but you don't have context to anything.
When John Williams designed the Rise of Skywalker soundtrack, it became a big deal when we got the final version of the music because it wasn't accurate to any of the scenes. And there is an original cut of music that has proper titles mixed with the music to convey the emotions, and you know the general scope of each scene and like what beats the story's taking. But first of all, you know the beats of the music you know the beats of the scene by listening to the music, but you know the general like what would be going on by the title of the song. Like people know what the Force is like based off the song and that title. Like if you strip away like the dialogue of the scene and you just listen to the song, then you could start to pick up of like what the Force is based off what is going on.
I mean, like that's true, but like I feel like that's picking up on the feeling of what's happening and not really like what's happening.
No, I don't think you're giving music enough credit.
I mean,
music makes most of everything. Like
yes, but it sets the mood and it like gives you like the emotion of what you're watching. But like,
sometimes music isn't just background. Sometimes it like is the forefront.
If you had a black screen and only heard like the soundtrack of Star Wars, could you tell me what's happening?
Could I tell you in detail what's happening?
Yes, that is what.
Well, it depends on how much detail we're talking about. But I'll definitely say that, like, stories used to just be conveyed with music. Like, think about like classical set pieces where like there is no dialogue. And maybe there's action in, like, dramatic action, like if it's an opera or something. But that's all music. And even if they're not speaking a language, it's still a stage play.
But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about Star Wars. Like, could you tell me, oh yeah, Luke Skywalker's dad is Darth Vader from just the music?
I think if you studied the music, yes, you could.
You really think from just the music you can make that connection?
I think if you listen... Well, it depends... Well... I don't have the available content to give that proper example. Neither do you, but we don't have that proper example. But what I would say is I bet that if you listened if you pulled out the segments that are the Luke Skywalker theme, like if you look at the Luke Skywalker theme, the Leia theme, the like child theme that's with them together in a scene, or the family theme, whatever, and then you pull like the Anakin theme, Imperial March, and Vader theme from all the different movies, you can start to notice and pick up that John Williams wrote certain lines a certain way. You look at the sheet music, certain things are borrowed from other places because they do connect. The problem is, the argument that you're making is that like it's much simpler to just watch the movie. But I'm saying it is possible under heavy dissection to understand more about the movie.
I'm saying they work in tandem, but like if you just listen to the music, I feel like you'd have to be like a literal music doctor to actually be able to figure out what's going on from just the music.
The point is, it's harder, but it's possible. It's way harder, but it's possible.
I mean, I feel like some of the nuance would be lost, at least. Like most of it. And you couldn't have like specific...
There would be a layer lost, but I don't think it's a layer so huge that the story drops. Because I think when someone makes a story, especially a story like Star Wars...
I mean, here's my argument. Is like, if you have Star Wars without the music. So like, if it was just a bad movie.
Star Wars might Star Wars might honestly not even be a good franchise without
exactly.
the music.
It would be awful if it had no music, but you could tell what's going on. Like, you could see like, you know, Darth Vader would be like, "I'm your father," and you'd be like, "Wow, that's pretty crazy. I can't believe this music doesn't like this song. There's no music to this." But like, if you had like a black screen with music, I feel like you could not. You like the average person would definitely not know what's going on, and even like music masterminds would be like, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I don't. It just depends, because like, what I imagine, and the other example I actually do have for this is, before they made the connection between Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, and Darth Vader, like the fact that it was the grandson. Before they announced it, we were able to pick up on it because they used a musical score that, if you dissect that piece of music, was underlaid with the Anakin theme. So you knew that Anakin had something to do with it. And then once you started to realize that that song was attached to Kylo Ren, then you start to put those two pieces together.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, what if instead of what if instead of Anakin's theme, it was like mistranslated into just being like a Sith theme in general?
Well, we know that's not true. Well, we know that's not true because it's the Anakin theme when he was a boy. Like, when we're introduced to Anakin as a young child.
But like, my argument is like, you would not, like, there would be a connection, but you'd have no idea what that connection is. So you'd have no way to progress. Like, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is related to this. Like, if you're speaking just music, you'd be like, oh, this is Anakin's theme. This is this theme. They are obviously related because they have like some of the same.
I think
like,
you have to have.
They have some of the same notes and progressions, but there's no way for you to know exactly what the connection is, which leads you to like it leads you to one, speculation, and two, you hit a roadblock because there's no way for you to figure out from that point what the theme is supposed to mean.
Well, I think with the way storytelling is told, you wouldn't need like a whole movie as much as you'd need maybe an abstract, like before an essay, with like a summary, and then you could go off the music. You need something.
I'm talking just the music. That was my argument this whole time.
Like, if you just gave me a collection of songs,
and I said, figure out what's going on.
If it was in order, I don't know. By that point, you would have to go with the titles alone, which, like, I guess I can pull that up, but.
I mean, we've gotten super off topic, but like,
I don't know. I'd have to like look at people talking about the music to identify that sort of thing, but the fact that I don't know. I'm tired of this conversation.
You have lost.
I haven't lost. I'm just like.
And I mean, and Persona music is not even Star Wars music. Like, it's really good, but I don't know if it's that level of.
I don't even know how we got started talking.
Well, because you were like, I'm a fan of Persona.
Oh.
And I was like, well, you've only listened to the music, so I don't think that's true.
I think with titles, here's what I will say. I think if you gave me an abstract of the movie, which I mean is not much at all.
I mean, it's like a paragraph.
Yeah, 5 sentences. If you give me an abstract and you give me song titles, I think one could make a argument for like a case for that movie.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's compromise. That's called compromise.
Yeah, but that wasn't my point.
Yeah, but you can take 2 steps back because it's called a compromise, and we can move on. Let's move on. Now it's time. Hold on, let me see if I can find the old recording. It's time for our famous segment.
Be able to find it.
It's time for our famous.
You're not gonna be able to find it.
It's time for our famous segment. Hold on, keep him busy while I look for my favorite segment.
I don't know what to talk about.
Hold on.
This is my favorite episode of TheWordPool.
What was the point of that?
This is my favorite.
What a crazy story. Please continue.
Yeah, please continue.
I mean, I don't know. I think I bought a game. I bought Danganronpa, and I also bought another game.
OMG, that makes me want to die.
You're probably like blowing out their ears. You know that, right?
OMG, that makes me want to die. That's a 4-second clip I recorded in June 27th of 2019.
But and then I bought another game. It was called 13 Sentinels. Like add just Rim or something like that. I don't know. It was a game. I took a risk. It looks fun, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Anyway, that's all for me. That's pretty much all I've done.
All right, now let's rewind the clocks. Let's take it all the way back, ladies and gentlemen. So you just heard Lucas's side of the story, and I think it's wonderful. I think you should clap. I think you should honestly praise that unique and inspiring story. But let's take it back and let's talk about.
I've been looking at this 20XX trailer, and it looks pretty good.
Well, this game was made like a couple years ago.
Well, yeah, but it's on sale now.
It's just a fan Mega Man game. By the way, I bought where is it? I bought Sorry, I'm speaking in tongues. Oh, I guess I don't have it. It should be here. It's that Digimon stuff. Oh, here it is.
Oh, the Cyber Sleuth thing?
Yeah, I bought it. I played 12 minutes.
You were like, I'm done.
Well,
This sucks.
I started playing the sequel, and then I was like, I don't want to do this.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of the way it goes.
Like, I paid like $50, and then I was like, no, I'm good. It's like, it's cool to own, but I'm good.
Honestly, I feel the same way. Like, I finished the first game, and then I have the second one, and I'm just like, man, I don't want to do this again. Like,
but the second game doesn't even look as cool as this one. Like, the first game looks so much better.
I mean, to me, the only reason I played the first one is because it has so much like nostalgia. I guess like it's cool to like be in that world, but like in the second game, it just lost its novelty. Like now, it's just like, oh yeah, it's the same thing.
I mean, it's like a different story, but in the same universe.
I don't even think it's a sequel. I think it's like happening at the same time or something bizarre.
Yeah, it's happening at the same time.
Yeah, I hate that.
Or something bizarre. I'm just kidding. It's happening at the same time. Anywho, let me take you back to my story. So, when I last left you all, and I promised to come back on the third Sunday, where was I? In life, I was just getting over high school. Junior year, and I have to say it was pretty good in hindsight, because hindsight's 2020, which we need to change that expression, because 2020 was a bad year and is currently a bad year and will forever be a bad year unless, I don't know, something crazy happens in
unless
December.
2021 is worse,
unless something crazy happens. But I gotta say that for me, everything was groovy. Spring was going on and just kind of hanging out doing nothing, and then summer went on. It was more nothing. I put 50 hours into Animal Crossing, and then school was starting back up, and then I found out like all the teachers I know were leaving, and it was just a crazy thing, because it was like I came back and they were like, I was like, where is everyone? They all said gone, and you'll never see them again. It's like that's kind of weird. Like, all the teachers that made my high school career happen in general are just gone. So I had to like try and figure out what to do. And then also in my class, can you guess how many people there were? I mean, you know.
Well, yeah, I do know.
4.
Yeah.
There's 4 people. There's 4 people, okay? People left. Which, like, whatever. Screw them. 4 people are left. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you count to 4? I can. One hand. You think how many BA kids can say they can count their senior class in one hand? Unless they have a lot of fingers. And toes. That's a lot of.
I mean, you said on one hand, so
you'd have to have 1,000 fingers on one hand.
More than that.
But, yeah, it's like me and one person against the world. And it's like fun day to day, I guess, but at the same time, it's not so fun. So like in September, August and September is all about that cross country life. Hello? Is there a ghost? It's the dog. It was all about that cross-country life, which was fun, I guess. It was another year of doing it, but I gotta say, not my cup of tea. In hindsight, 2020, not a big fan of it. Like, I wouldn't do it again, but I never have to do it again, so that's kind of the thing.
It's true.
And then, let's see, where were we after where were we after September? August. That's the next month.
After September?
Yeah, figured it out. And that was around the time you came back into town.
Yeah.
And I was living my best life. And by that I mean it wasn't the best, I guess. I don't know. It's all like nothing feels like it changed that much, and I think that's the problem with 2020 is like I feel like this year was supposed to be full of change and then nothing changed. Like nothing.
Well, I'd say a few things changed, just not for the better.
Well, no, I think no, I would say that there wasn't any change. Like there was shutdowns, there was the stop, but there was no continuation, you know. So like with COVID just came the shutting of everything. Now at school you have to wear masks and like all day you wear masks, which makes people more angry. And I was thinking about it, like kids are already tired at 7 a.m. anyway, even if they get enough sleep. But the fact that you're getting less air in means you're going to be more tired. So, and that's why you yawn more. So like,
I have not noticed this change.
and it makes people angrier too. Is like when you don't get enough air, you're just going to get angrier. So like, it's just a deal to like put up with. Hello?
It's ghosts.
Yeah, so that's my story. And if you don't like it, we're not friends.
That's harsh, dude.
Yeah, but anyway, I got an Apple Watch. That's the highlight of my year. And it broke.
It broke?
And then I got a new one. Because Costco has a return policy.
Oh, that's nice.
So if it breaks for any reason, you get a new one. Okay? So I got a new one. Anyway, yeah, this kind of stuff is what's kept me going. This and the best part of my year, which was like a 2-week stretch of playing Batman games. Like, it's kind of weird to say that was kind of the best part of my year, but in a year that went so fast, like, it just kind of was a cool thing that happened.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say I really enjoyed playing Danganronpa 3. I mean...
There was a lot of good video games to come out this year. I mean, like...
Yeah,
know.
I mean, Persona 5 Royal came out this year, which is the best game. To me.
Yeah, to you. Make sure you put that in there.
To me.
People would be
Trademark.
upset. I'd be upset if you said it was the best game.
What is the best game to you? Is it still Rogue Legacy?
Is it? I don't know if I don't know what is the best. Like, what's my favorite game? Probably Rogue Legacy, but that's because I played, and that's another thing that happened this year, especially, is I finally completed it after like, I don't know, 6 years of playing it, and then I went from like 80 hours or 70 hours to 136.3 hours, which is a lot. I want to 100% complete it one day, but we're 8 achievements away. And then the sequel came out, which is dope. It's a great game. I left it on all day the other day, so now I'm at 27.5 hours.
Nice.
Didn't mean for that to happen, but it is what it is. And then this year we also played Arkham Knight. We're working our way through it. Arkham City. It's a good game. And then my favorite, Arkham Asylum. It was a fun story. And then we played some DC supervillains. A lot of DC this year. I don't know why.
I mean, they were the games that were available, I guess. Because I remember this game was on sale, which is why you bought it.
Yeah, so it was.
And I bought it.
So I don't know how done I am with it, but I'll probably finish it. Played Skyrim. It's a fun game. I want to play more. Battle for the Grid. This was this year. Doesn't that feel strange?
That is strange, honestly.
Like, I feel like I've had this game for years.
Yeah. I thought this game came out like a long time ago.
Well, it may have come out like 2 years ago, but I bought it this year. But to me, it's been here for so long.
Yeah, I could never... Honestly, I've tried the 2D fighters before, and then I always inevitably get frustrated because I'm not good at them.
Yeah.
Oh, this Marvel Lego Superheroes 2, worst Lego game I've ever played.
I mean, I have it. I only put 2 hours into it. I basically played the beginning.
I absolutely despise that game. Like, it's so bad.
Then Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, I put 82 minutes.
So good.
Strong 82. Faster Than Light, 10 hours. But I love this game, but it's so hard. I don't think I'll ever beat Faster Than Light. I think...
Can you even beat it? I always thought it was like just kind of an infinite...
No, there's a story, but like it's such a hard story that it's just impossible. And Pinball 3... I put this on...
I mean, it's not as good as Pinball 2, but,
Super Bernie World. I haven't even started Life is Strange.
Weren't you going to do that for the channel?
It is going to be for the channel. But the problem is that... Oh, and that's the other thing I did while we were gone, is I started a YouTube career, and I put it on Infinite Pause. But it won't be on Infinite Pause forever. I just got to get through college stuff, which will be this month, because after this month, there's no point. Like, once you get to January, you're screwed, basically.
Pretty much.
I mean, there's a lot of there are a lot of places that will let you do like into January, or they have rolling admission through July. But a lot of the places that I want to go to usually don't do that anyway. So that's what it is. And I think it's important to not just keep doing college stuff forever, even though I honestly could, because I just keep applying to places and I keep doing the dance. But you have to stop. You have to stop at some point.
Yeah, at some point, too much is too much.
But but the problem with me is that
'Cause, I
like
mean, you're
I
in your
apply to
senior year.
I apply to a safety school, right? Like I have my hardest schools, my probablys, and then my super easy ones. And the super easy ones, like there's 2 or 3 of them, and I apply to a super easy. I'm like, I'm for sure getting it. Like even if all of these other ones fail, I'm getting into that one. And then my brain goes, but what if you don't? And I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta think of something else. I gotta think of another backup. So I have like 4 backup plans on top. 4 backup plans just in the easy column. Like the medium column still has like 6 things, you know. So if I get accepted to all of them, like 9 different schools, like I'll just be like, which one of these do I want? Like I'll just be scrolling through, just like, which one do I want to pick? You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to my game collection that I've acquired. This is all I did for. I really started playing video games over 2020. I gotta say. Life is Strange, we'll get to. It's a fun game. Mega Man X Collection, played 86 minutes, but, you know, that's what it is. Overwatch, I played it for the first time in like 3 years, even though it says 0, that's not true.
I mean, it's on the Blizzard app, not the Steam app. So.
I know, but this is just a link. This just opens it immediately. Portal and Portal 2 haven't started because I'm, again, waiting. I don't know why the Old Republic is here, but it is. Oh, I think it's because it was free, so I just got it. They're making a lot of stuff based off this, you know? Like, all the stuff with The Mandalorian, which also came back. And 2020 had so much stuff this year. It's just hard to recount it all. Like, I wish there was
like, for me, it's not really hard to recount. It's just there's so much stuff that, like, some stuff just gets thrown in by the wayside. Because you're like, oh, that's not that important.
Oh, you know what thing did happen is we got a new president.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird. Like, now it's gonna be this guy, Mr. Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Biden won the presidency.
Boss Man Joe.
It's so crazy that we didn't even talk about it like 6 months ago, but we knew, like, we had a good idea of what was gonna happen, and then like it didn't. Anyway, let's see what stuff happened while we were gone.
Kobe Bryant died.
No, that we were there for that.
Yeah.
The Oscars already happened, I guess. Whatever. Harvey Weinstein.
I actually watched the Oscars.
Stock market crash. I mean, that was George Floyd. I think happened while we were gone.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. That I don't want to dwell. Kim Jong-un. That was a cool thing. The death rumors.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was crazy.
We did talk about this, I think, but it's still pretty cool because it's like he was gone for a while, and then Biden became not only did he become the Democratic presidential nominee, but he also won. Like that was weird. Let's see, what else did the Murder Hornets?
Yeah.
Who could forget the Murder Hornets?
Everybody. I mean, seriously, that was like the lowest key event that's happened this year.
The Murder Hornets. What a great. Could have died. The Beirut explosion. That was a crazy
yeah, I
thing.
remember. Because, like, literally, I think it took me, like, a day to find out. And I was like, that's crazy. Because that's, like, a huge explosion. And, like, it took me a whole day to find out. Like, that's crazy.
I feel like if this happened 10 years ago, we'd all still be talking about it. And, like,
Exactly.
it would be a huge deal, but no one cares anymore. Like, explosions, been there, done that. Try losing a plane in a tower and then talk to me about your problems, you know?
Well, it's not even just that. There's just been so much stuff.
Chadwick Boseman died.
Which was super sad.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. But it is cool that he did a bunch of movies while he was still, like, on cancer, because it showed that he was a cool guy.
I mean, yeah, I can't believe... honestly, I'm in disbelief that he did that. That's crazy.
Let's see, we had the West Coast Wildfires, which happens every year. Get over yourself. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that was crazy. But, I mean, she's 87, but, you know, she was still a very important figure in politics.
Disappointed, but not surprised.
We had the president testing positive, which was kind of crazy, because, like, he was already on a very losing streak, but by that point, he could have won again if he just would have been like, oh, now I have it, so I understand, and, like, you know, he could have won back voters. He didn't, but whatever. Eddie Van Halen's death. Joe Biden becomes president-elect. Story keeps continuing. It's just like, he's there now. What are you going to do about it? What else happened? Naya Rivera died this year. That was really sad. Did you hear about that?
No.
She played a Glee character. She went out with her son to the lake, and they found the boy, like, on a boat hours later, but she was gone. It was crazy. Like, they couldn't find her body. Anyway, let's see what else we have in the wild world of 2020. We had a bunch of COVID cases, over 4 million. The Tokyo Olympics got postponed till next year. Trump got impeached. That was last year, I think. No, that was this year, but it was still like years ago. Tiger King happened. 5,000 pet found dead in boxes at Chinese shipping depot.
That sounds messed up.
This just happened. Oh my gosh. What a crazy
That's disgusting.
Hope they weren't eating them. You know, it's like Indonesia or something. They have a national cat eating contest every year.
Ew.
They like it's like Nathan's hot dog eating contest,
Ew.
but with cats.
That's gross.
I mean, that's what they do. I don't know what you want me to say.
Stop! Don't say anything.
It's literally what happens. Anyway, so this was 2020. I don't know what my predictions for 2021 are.
I mean, how could you after a year like 2020? How could you predict anything?
Just makes me upset because everything was fine, and then like everything went
Changed
crazy
when the Fire Nation attacked. Exactly.
Nobody remembered 420, and it wasn't because we were too high in April. Oh yeah, this was supposed to be like 420 all year long.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Remember that?
I remember. Like it was like in December when everyone was like, "Oh yeah, April's gonna be a great month."
But like it was supposed to be. This year was supposed to be so great because even the calendar matched how great it was supposed to be. Because like all the holidays were on Saturday. Like you could,
yeah, like freaking Halloween was like full moon, blue moon, Saturday. Like literally the stars and planets were aligned for that one.
My birthday was on Saturday, and it was like one of the worst. But that's not anything to do with the calendar. Anyway, the Pentagon. Oh yeah, the UFOs from the Pentagon.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. Like that was why'd you have to do it to him?
I'm thirsty. Anyway,
how was that gonna help?
Because now they're thirsty. It's like, welcome back to my ASMR channel. Watch me eat this cracker. Yeah, but the Pentagon totally released that UFO footage. They never like we never went back to that.
I mean, yeah, it's been such a crazy
But
year.
they released the UFO footage, and then just yesterday there's like new monoliths in different places. Like monoliths are showing. Have you heard about this?
Shoot.
Monoliths are showing up.
Monolith in Utah.
One showed up in Utah and one showed up in Romania.
What do you mean showed up?
Like they just appeared. They just appeared. These things. Yeah,
How
nobody knows how they got there. This one disappeared for a little bit and then it showed up in Romania. Nobody knows how it got there. It's just there now. These are our overlords coming to take us. Here's the one they found in Romania. Same exact pillar.
Oh snap!
We're gonna die.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is when the human race ends.
That's how 2020
What if
ends.
this is people
alien invasion?
People think Jesus is coming back. What if this is his message? He's like, this is my stuff. He's like getting ready for college. He's like, here's all my stuff. I'm coming back.
That's trippy. I hadn't even heard about this.
So this like just happened the other day. But yeah, they found this.
How does it just show up?
So they found these two guys. So one showed up in Utah, and it's a pretty heavy monolith. It's 2 guys height. It's like a little bit into the ground.
Do they know what it's made out of? At the very least?
I don't know. I haven't looked into that. But it's these. I think it's like aluminum or something. But these 2 guys, one just appeared in Utah years ago, and nobody really knows how it got there. And then the other day, 2 guys took the monolith, and so it was like, okay, well, at first they thought it just disappeared, and nobody knew what happened to it. Then someone found footage of these 2 guys taking it, and so it just disappears. 4 days later, from Utah in America to Romania, another one appears. Now these things are reportedly very heavy, and they're sticking in they're 2 feet in the ground. So how they flew it from Utah to Romania and then stuck it in the ground without anyone noticing is pretty weird.
That is really weird, actually.
But they did it, or it was, our god, our new gods, and they put it there. So that's what's happening in the world of 2020. Oh, and TikTok exploded.
Oh, yeah. I mean, TikTok exploding has been...
But TikTok almost died. Like, it was crazy.
I mean, I don't know. TikTok is weird. It's a weird place.
Like, just today in chapel, we had a speaker who was like, I kid you not, she said these words. She said, if Jesus had a TikTok, he would be verified. That's what she said. So, like...
What does that even mean?
Because to be verified means you're, like, super popular and people know who you are. So, like...
Of course, he would have, like, how many Christians are there? Like, 2 billion or something like that? I don't know.
Oh, you know what else happened in 2020? Charlie D'Amelio.
Who?
In the sentence. Charlie D'Amelio. You know who she is. Charlie D'Amelio. Think hard. If this is a bit, it's not a very
Brain
good one.
blast!
Do you know who she is?
Yeah, I know who she is.
Okay, well, her drink came out, I think, this year. But That was at the beginning, and I think we may have even... No, we weren't recording at that point because it came out like right when school started. But she did come out with her own Dunkin' drink, and that's when I first was like, man, she has a good team because now they're partnering with Dunkin'. Like she gets a sponsorship and she gets her own drink there, so she's making a profit, and so are they. It's cool. She has a good marketing team for a 16-year-old. And then they just announced that by this holiday season, you can buy Charlie D'Amelio's first book.
She has a book?
Now I want to remind you that she's 16.
What's it even gonna be about?
Well, I'll tell you. It's pretty funny that you asked that because Charlie D'Amelio, Charlie D Charlie D apostrophe Emilio, is releasing her first book. Now the book is called The Ultimate Guide to Keeping It Real. She's 16, and it's called essentially Charlie, The Ultimate Guide to Keeping It Real. I like how it's called Essentially Charlie because it's like a double entendre because of her ghostwriters.
Yeah, it's like she has the name of this book, but like she didn't write it.
Nice. Well, I assume she just told she told her ghostwriter about different stories in her life.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, she probably it's probably all of her stuff. It's just like someone else put it together, but that's not really important.
So anyway, there's this book coming out, and it's got pictures and stuff because her fans are 8, and but it's also her stories. Now, what I found interesting was that
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, it says The Deep End. Does this mean it's the last book? Nobody knows.
I don't know either, but that is kind of also important because I was looking at the publishing house for this book because I was like, who's going to authorize this? It's the same publishing house that is publishing the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books.
So isn't that Scholastic?
Well, see, this is where my journey stopped because I thought it was Scholastic. But then I realized that they're releasing under a different publishing house. So
when did they change?
I don't know, but now they're releasing under a different publishing house. Let me see. Publisher Amulet Books. Here's my problem with this. I remember them being a Scholastic company or a book series for a long time.
Yeah, because they were at the book fair, which is like all Scholastic books, isn't it?
Yeah, now it's all under Amulet. I just got an email. Now it's all. I wonder if I got accepted somewhere. But now it's all under Amulet Books, and yeah, it's pretty weird. So it was a pretty weird story for me to get into because now you can buy all the books for Amulet Books. But yeah, I found this Essentially Charlie book, and it's coming out for the holiday season. I will be purchasing it. I don't know if that's true. And then I also realized, you remember Dance Moms?
Yeah, but there was like a season where everybody was super into it. I never got the hype, to be honest.
Well, all of the girls from Dance Moms have also released books, and was also kind of crazy. Like this one's called the Maddie Diaries. Now Maddie Ziegler, of course. Let me see who published this one. Publisher Gallery Books. Okay. But Maddie Ziegler, of course, was the main girl from Dance Moms. She was always like the best dancer, and then she got picked up by Sia, and then she was like the dancing kid from Sia's videos. Essentially, all this to say that like all these kids are releasing books, and when I saw the essentially more like Ascent Charlie, Essentially Charlie book, I thought it's the ultimate guide to keeping it real, but she's never had to apply to college. Like there's just certain things. Like yes, she's had to do business stuff, which is stressful.
But she hasn't had to do like regular high school senior things.
Yeah, like worry about the homecoming or like, because her life it didn't become easy. If anything, it became harder. But I don't know. She also.
I mean, I'd say it became different. If I'm being honest.
Well, there's a lot of things that could have been easier, and there's a lot of things that could have been harder.
Like the thing that I think about is like if she keeps up the same work ethic, she's pretty much got it made.
But I think now the way she lives and the way she has to record herself and the way she has to manage all this different business stuff, she definitely lives right now a harder life than either of us.
Absolutely, 100%. But at the same time, she has that like. She's kind of already set up, Like, we still have to get set up in our personal lives before we're where she's at, but she's already there. So, she's working harder, but at the same time, she doesn't have to work harder any more than she is. I mean, she could, but she probably will.
Such a good... I think she has the best marketing team, because obviously Charlie D'Amelio, all she is she's the pioneer for TikTok. She got super famous super quickly because she was one of the first, and she was just one of the first favorites, just like Smosh. But Smosh quickly lost all their popularity. And I think her marketing team knows that this is just a fad. Charli D'Amelio will eventually fade out of existence, or there'll be another huge star. And so they're pushing as hard as they can. She's on podcasts, songs, books, drinks. I mean, there's so much to it, clothing. There's so much to it. And I just have to applaud her team, because if it was my team, I'd be like, hell yeah, dude, let's push it as much as possible, because she's in her 15 minutes at the fame. Who knows how long it's gonna last, but she's in it now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you think about it, it's only been like a year. So from a personal perspective, I'm like, well, you know, obviously I don't know if she really needs a book, but from a business perspective, I'm like, come on, you have to give it to me. Like, that's cool.
Charlie for president.
I mean, like Kanye for president, you know?
Yeah, you're right. One person at a time.
She can be the VP. But anyway, yeah, she's not as good as JoJo Siwa, but I digress. So let me just leave you with the description of the book. Everyone knows Charli D'Amelio. You know her. I know her. We know her.
I barely know her.
As the only TikTok personality to have, at age 16, surpassed 100 million followers. That's pretty cool. But who's the girl behind the post? She's a 16-year-old girl. For the first time ever, Charli is ready to share the intimate details of her life. That's pretty creepy because she's 16. How she navigated challenges, and stayed positive in the face of cyberbullying.
I think the way to do that is just to be like, man, I'm making money moves out here. Who cares? Like
who she was as a little girl, she's still a little girl, what family means to her, and how you too can navigate your social media presence and IRL friendships in order to develop a strong and confident identity. Packed with Charli trivia.
Exclusive photos? That's weird.
Real talk from Charli. And writing prompts. I'm buying it for the writing prompts. I want to see what Charli's prompting me to write about. This book is your new go-to resource and is the only official book by your favorite teen role model, icon, Charli D'Amelio. Now, I mean,
it's so weird.
It's weird. And
so weird.
And I will be buying it to share on the show. Guys, welcome back to the WordPool. We're starting off strong. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and the series. This is the last episode, and we'll see you in a year.